Hi! Hello! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Teacher Josa, your teacher for the subject Personal Development. I hope you had the chance to rest this weekend. Kahit napakaulan, di ba? Alright. So, last meeting, our topic is all about expectations of society and significant people. Specifically, we discussed about ways how to manage or handle expectations of society and significant people. I shared to you actually the how to manage personal expectations. Like you give yourself time, you adapt to changing expectations, you must have contingency plan A, plan B, plan C, and so on and so forth. And don't judge yourself harshly. I want you to appreciate all the small and big achievement, okay? And then also prepare for problems, predict other expectations, don't mistake expectations for reality. Dun lang tayo sa measurable. And ito yung pinakamahalaga. Talk to others to clarify their expectations and harness the true meaning behind expectations. Because first, sharing ata natin, it's all about pros and cons of having or receiving high expectations. Okay? So, that's it. I hope you remember that topic. For today's lesson, I want you to answer this question. What significant transitions do adolescents experience? Siguro specifically from childhood to your current state, and adolescent, from adolescent to adulthood. Or transitions like your physical changes, psychological changes. Okay? Because today, we're going to discuss ways to become responsible adolescent. So for today's discussion, here's our content standard. The learners demonstrate an understanding of the skills and tasks and challenges appropriate for middle and late adolescence and preparatory for early adulthood rather. For performance tasks, the learner shall be able to make a list of ways to become responsible adolescents prepared for adult life and manage the demands of teen years. So for our most essential learning competency, identify ways that help one become capable and responsible adolescent prepared for adult life. Okay? So for our specific objectives, identify ways that help one become capable and responsible adolescent prepared for adult life through class discussion. And we're going to conduct a short interview with an adult on ways to become responsible adolescent or ways to become a responsible young adult. All right. So let's discuss the characteristics of adolescents. So according to Department of Health on Adolescent Health and Development Program, adolescence is a crucial period of psychological and biological change. It is second to early childhood in the rate and extent of developmental changes. Puberty is initiated in late childhood through a series of hormonal changes that lead to sexual maturation and the capacity to reproduce. We tackle about Eric Erickson's psychosocial crisis for each development stage. All right, so it's a period of multiple transitions involving education, training, employment, unemployment, and transitions from one living circumstances. All right. So because when we say multiple transitions involving education, it means that in studying adolescent development, adolescence can be defined biologically as the physical transition marked by the onset of puberty and the termination of physical growth. Cognitively, as changes in the ability to think abstractly and multidimensionally or socially as a period of preparation for adult roles. Major pubertal and biological changes include changes to the sex organs, height, weight, your muscle mass, as well as major changes in the brain structure and organizations. Cognitive advances encompass both increment in knowledge and inability to think abstractly and reason more effectively. Sociology is interested in adolescents focus on the acquisition of social roles and how this varies across cultures or social conditions. Developmental psychological focus on change in relation with parents and peers as a function of structure and pubertal status. Okay? How about adulthood? It's a period of human lifespan in which full physical and intellectual maturity have been achieved. Though for us, adolescents, it is no other than freedom. It's the time we feel that we can do almost anything kapag tayo ay adult na. Unfortunately, according to some article, no, despite being freed, adulthood is just a jail for other people. You have to make important decisions like you pay for your own bill, you vote for the country or for the incoming elections, and there's no mommy or daddy or yaya to buy you new shoes, clothes, cook food, etc. Basically, you need to live responsibly. Okay? So, becoming responsible and being able to make good choices are very important trait no matter what developmental stages we are in, which, very crucial. It holds true for adolescents, especially that we are just beginning to internalize and inhibit virtues, values, and other essential qualities. So there may be a lot of things going on various facets of our lives, but we can treat these difficulties as challenges, which can make our lives exciting. So, as adolescent, we have to be prepared for adulthood before it can even, according to some article, eat us alive or shook, no? So, gonna share to you the tips to become a responsible adolescent. And if you have other references, please share it to me, okay? So, tip number one, focus on your studies and do well in all your endeavors. There is time for everything. Learn to wait and compromise. And siguro for me, yung best word is delayed gratification. Instead of wasting your time doing tasks not related to your objectives, mas maganda no na mag-aral kang mabuti. This is the time na kailangan makilala mo yung sarili mo, you discover more about your strengths and weaknesses, your hidden talents, your capabilities, and other skills that you need, lalo na sa future. Okay? So, one step at a time. Napakahirap na mag-aral habang nag-aalaga for example ng bata kasi na-advance na 'no. Kaya naman pero yun nga may mga challenges and yun napakahirap maging working student na kailangan mong mag-work for your family at the same time study 'no. Ang hirap ng dalawang kamay. So, ikaw kung given the time na estudyante ka ngayon, focus on your studies and please do well in all your endeavors. Hindi lahat ng estudyante lahat ng estudyante nag-aaral, pero hindi lahat nag-aaral mabuti. And I hope that you are doing well, 'no, sa ginagawa natin sa pag-aaral. And be responsible, of course. Alright, number 2, establish good communication and relation with your parents or guardians. There is a generation gap and it's going to exist. Okay? So understand them and make them understand. No, laging tandaan, may generation gap at hindi mawawala because of our age. Imagine if your parent is like 40 years old and then you are like ano ba, 14 or 15 or 16 to 17 years old, ang haba nung years na may gap, no? So, hindi na-experience mga parents mo yung current curriculum, for example, and ikaw rin, hindi mo na-experience yung curriculum nila. So, minsan nagkakaroon ng misunderstanding. So, ang best way talaga is to establish good communication. You disclose everything. You give your trust to your family, to your relatives or your guardians and parents. Okay? Make them understand. Always consider their advices para, ano ba, guided tayo. Okay? And for those parents who are watching this video, syempre tayo rin po, we need to listen to our kids, to our daughters, to our son, kung ano yung kanilang pangangailangan. Okay? Next is be aware. Think a lot before doing something. We need to evaluate probable consequences before acting and have a sense of direction. So, set your goals properly. Okay? Doon naman nagsisimula lahat eh. Our actions ay related sa gusto nating ma-achieve o marating. Ngayon, we need to do task related to our goal. If we want to become a doctor, of course, one of our tasks is to, for example, excel in science, study concepts related to science and other medical discipline, to, of course, pass examinations and etc. Okay? And for example, naisipan mo na maglakwatsa na lang, magpahinga, you need to think the consequences ng mga ginagawa natin. Okay? And have a sense of direction. Okay? Be aware. Be aware. Stop blaming. 3 other fingers point towards you as you point your fingers at others. It does not need the discussion but only make things worse. Do not throw a pebble at the persons who throw bread at you. Okay? May mga bagay na hindi na mahirap nang baguhin. For example, lumaki tayo sa broken family. For example, maagang nawala yung parents natin. Or for example, nanloko or nangaliwa yung ating tatay or yung ating nanay, or iniwan tayo ng family natin, or napunta tayo sa tita natin, lola natin, no? So, may mga bagay tayo na hindi natin makokontrol, mababalikan because people have their own reasons. Yung parents natin may dahilan din sila. And instead of blaming them, we need to focus sa ating current state and reevaluate our goals in life and think of ways how to solve problem. In personal development, parang tinuturuan tayo dito na maging proactive in life and wag maging reactive, no? We need to assess the situations and see different factors affecting our decisions. Okay? Next is be accountable. If the people around you have negative outlook in life, you are always responsible for how you react it. Okay? Minsan ang nakakasakit lang naman sa'yo ay hindi yung mismong sinabi, kundi yung interpretation mo dun sa sinabi, no? For example, sinabihan ka ng ang pangit mo, no? Ikaw naman saktan ka kaagad, no? Instead na you see it or assess it objectively or accept it uh, objectively na beauty is subjective. So, pwedeng para sa kanya, hindi ako maganda. Para sa kanya, maganda ako. And that's okay. As long as na walang verbal, physical abuse, and invalidation of feelings. Okay? So, hindi natin makokontrol yung pagtingin ng ibang tao sa atin. Lalo na kapag hindi nila tayo kilala. May mga worst, sasabihan ka pa ng masakit na salita. And minsan, kung sino pa yung hindi mo kilala, sila yung naninira sa'yo. at hanggang sa mawalan ka ng self-worth, questionin mo yung Diyos na bakit ganito yung buhay ko, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So, hindi natin makokontrol yung pag-iisip ng ibang tao, but we can control our actions, our behaviors. We can always do cognitive restructuring wherein we assess our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Because at the end of the day, opinions are just opinions, and kunin natin yung mga beneficial na feedback at alisin yung mga hindi makakatulong sa atin. Okay? So, I hope na matandaan mo yon. Next is recognize what occurred. Once you admit, I screwed up, you remove the necessity to make up petty explanations. Then follow it up. What can I do to make it better? Okay, what can I do to make it better? It's more on um, having proactive decisions, proactive actions na anong gagawin? Ito yung problema. So, anong gagawin natin? And what are the steps to accomplish it? Okay? Rise, sabi nga ng iba, rise and shine, no? Nadapa ka ng 7 times, tumayo ka ng 14 times, at hindi ka lang basta tatayo, aalis ka pa dun sa pinagkadapaan mo. Okay? And last, I think, is be kind to yourself. You are braver, you are stronger, you are smarter than you think. You are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Always appreciate yourself. Take good care of your health and hygiene. Recognize your noble and positive talents. Validate yourself. Take time to know what makes you thick in a gentle, insightful way is the sort of self-love and individual accountability. Okay? Smile na. All right. So, for our learning activity, I want you to make a list of ways to become responsible adolescent, prepared for adult life, and manage the demand of teen years. Okay? So, next, I also want you to conduct a short interview with an adult or young professional. Like, except lang na wag lang classmate, okay? For example, your sister, brother, your teacher, your friend outside Marikina Science High School, and other young professionals like churchmate, um, friend sa Facebook, and etc. Okay? So, interview him or her on ways to become responsible adolescent or young adult. Here's our guide question. What are the differences between your experiences when you were a teenager and now that you are young adult? How do you handle these changes? What are the ways to become responsible adolescent? What are the some things to keep in mind before becoming an adult? All right, so I hope you enjoy na mag-interview ng ibang tao. So you see different perspective, different experiences na hindi madali maging adult. No? Kaya ngayong adolescent pa lang tayo, binibigyan tayo ng time to manage our feelings, emotions, mag-mature, to discover more about ourselves, and yun, develop our skills, strengths, and limitations. No? So, for our valuing application and generalization, I want you to draw something that symbolizes your youth and experience towards adult life. Or pwedeng young adult naman. So thank you so much for listening and watching this video. I love you all. Mwah, mwah. Bye!